In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you a simple card made using the new John Next Door Christmas sentiments. These come as individual words, so you get happy, merry, joyful, magical, peaceful and Christmas. So you can build up whatever sentiment that you want. And these have got a beautiful swirly font that matches with all of the other fonts used this year across the collection. So we're going to start by putting Christmas onto a card. So I've got here a piece of White Crafts 2 Essential card. This is in coconut white, and this has been cut to 4 by 6 inches. And I'm just going to place it on my mat against some of the lines. That allows me to line up the sentiment against a line on the bottom. Now, the one thing you must make sure when you're doing this one is that your die is clean, because we're going to be doing we're using the waste on this, so you just need to make sure you've got all of the little bits out of your die, because I'm terrible for not doing it, certainly when I love the die. So I'm placing that across a straight line here on the bottom, and I'm just going to take that down to secure it. I'm actually taping it at the top in 2 places, which gives me a kind of hinge to lift, and that'll make sense in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. I'm using my Kaleido here because I can get a 6-inch piece beautifully through, but it will go through any of your die cutting machines, even your small ones like your Spellbinder's Sapphire. So I'm going to bring that out, and the reason I wanted to cut this is you're going to turn it over, because you're wanting to leave all the pieces in place. If any drop out, as this little bit from the C has, pop it back into place, because you want them all in place and it's on its back, or sort of laying almost on its front really. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of a spray box, and I'm going to use spray glue for this. And I'm just going to put on a couple of coats of spray glue onto the back of the card with the die still in place. You can sort of shield it off, but I find that's just as easy. We're then simply going to grab a piece of acetate. So all you want is a small little scrap of acetate. So I use A5. I'm just going to cut myself about 1.5 inch, 2-inch strip, and I'm going to stick that down to the back and press that down really well. I'm wanting to make sure that all the little pieces are adhered. We're then going to turn that over, and you can lift your die out. So just make sure all the pieces stay in place. Give them a little push with your pokey tool. You'll find there's a release hole for every single one. Here we go. And make sure all the pieces stay in place. And you can see now why I said put it at the top, because then we've got a little flap. So we're then just simply going to peel off our die, and we've got our Christmas cut in. And now I'm going to remove the Christmas word. So I'm taking out the Christmas word, leaving in all the little pieces of waste. And you would save this word for another project. I've actually been stacking them all together in one to make a beautiful background. So you would keep that. I'm going to take the little bit from the eye out. And that's why we have the eye left, and give that a good press down. And then we have a beautiful see-through Christmas at the bottom. So just trim your acetate anywhere it's overhanging, and obviously we want to put something behind this. So I've taken a piece of the Craft Artist Silver Glitter card, and we're going to pop this behind, so we've got a kind of relief. And you could use this as a shaker card as well, but we want something relatively simple. Now what I want to do is decide what I want on there. So I'm going to go for Magical Christmas. Now I don't like to waste cards, so I'm going to cut this from this main body here of the piece behind. No one will know when you send it that you've taken it out. As you can see, you can't see it, but it means that we're not wasting any additional card. So again, simply run that through, and I would make sure, certainly when you're cutting glitter card, you're running it lengthways down so you get the maximum amount of cut from it. And I'm just going to run that through 2 or 3 times. I'm cutting glitter card, and you may find you need to shim this. If you do, just place a metal shim or a card shim on top. We'll take out, and here we go, we can see I'm going to get my magical out. There we go. And again, you could do a similar idea with this. You can see sort of continuing on if you place the pieces in the middle. So we're just going to clear out all the little waste pieces this time, because obviously they've stayed in place. So we've got our magical. And again, I'm going to add that into a spray box and just give it a spray. And I use Craft Mount by 3M, which I found to be the strongest adhesive in card making and crafting. So we'll bring our piece forward. And there we've got our magical Christmas. I'm going to turn that over. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape on so there's a little bit of distance. You've got a window to sort of see through. So piece across the bottom, piece across the middle to support there, a little bit at the top, and again if you want to you can do the sides. I'm just going to pop a piece in the middle just to support it, and then we'll reveal the tape and we'll place that on. You may find it's easier to actually place this on from behind, just like this. Make sure it fits nicely, and just check on the front, and any area that you find any is leaning forward, just use your scissors tilted at an angle and undercut the excess off. So there we've got our beautiful magical Christmas. So I want to fill this blank space a little bit, so I'm using the Craft Artist sticky stars. So these are double-sided adhesive pre-cut stars, so you get stars and patterns and circles and dots and all sorts of things, and they're perfect for adding just that little bit of interest to your project. So I'm picking them up just using my poker tool, popping them on my finger and just placing them down. Let's get another one. These little ones can be a little bit difficult at times. I've got two there, don't think I want to, but I'll have another one there, I'll have another one there, and just placing them on in a pretty arrangement. Let's have one there, we'll have one large one just there, we'll have one there as well. So I've got those, and I'm going to grab one of the tiny little stars and just pop it on just above the eye to be the little dot above the eye. So make sure you recover your sheet before you do the next section. So I've got a piece, you can use a box, or I've got a piece of scrap card here, and I'm using the Craft Artist laser glitter in silver, and I'm using my airless mister, which just makes it so much easier, as I can almost target where I want the glitter to go, and you don't waste anywhere near as much. So you can see there I've got that beautiful sparkling shine. Just give it a brush off, and there's my beautiful magical Christmas. I can pour that back into my pot really simply, and to finish this off I've got a card blank, which has been a standard card blank at 5x7, and I've got a little matten layer of silver mirror card and more of the coconut white essential crafts 2 card. So we'll pop that on, a little bit of wet glue on the back of here, and this will seal in and hide the fact that we've cut out the magical from the middle. And we're just going to frame that in. Final brush to get any last flakes of glitter off. And there we've got our beautiful, simple, magical Christmas card, just made using the sentiments.